Good afternoon, pupils. Welcome to another mid-measurement, and today I'm going to be talking about Karate Kid Legends. This time I'm going to start with my rating, and then I'm going to explain after. That way, if you want to avoid spoilers and you just want to know what I thought, you can just click off. So Karate Kid Legends, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 on the mid-measurement. And now I'm going to get into explanation slash spoilers, so if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and click off. Alright, so overall, thought this was a fun watch. It's something you can kind of go see, turn your mind off, and just like enjoy it. I'm gonna start with the pros and then get into the cons after. My pros overall, thought the acting was pretty solid. I liked the main character Lee. Kind of understand where he's coming from. I think they did a good job with that. Another thing I liked, the combat. All the fight scenes are really good. There's a lot of interesting things they do. A lot of cool like kicks and spins and jumps and stuff like that. So that was really cool. I liked all the training scenes where both Danny and Jackie Chan's character Mr. Han were there. I thought both of those were like them both training him was like there were some pretty funny moments, to be honest. And I also really liked at the beginning of the movie for probably the first, I don't know, half hour, where it looks like Lee's gonna be training Victor. Because I thought that was an interesting take on it. Usually it's like an older person training a kid. This way it's the other way around, which I thought was cool. But yeah, so I wish they had done more with that. Another positive I had, I really liked the antagonist Connor. I thought he was like low key. He's like should have been the main character, not really, but I don't know. He's like going up against Lee, who has both of these great teachers from different martial arts, and he's just like a normal New York guy who goes like to this karate school. But yeah, so he's like kind of the base Karate Kid villain, where he's like a kid being taught by like a bad teacher, basically. So he's kind of has some moments where he's not really a good guy, but you know, it's kind of just the same Karate Kid formula. Um, yeah, like I said, the acting, the fighting, I liked the combination of Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso both teaching. But yeah, so that's pretty much about it where the pros go. The cons, my main like overarching problem with this film has got to be the pacing. There's a lot of different like paths that they open and then they never fully explain. We're just supposed to like let it go. My main example of this is throughout the film there's this whole problem with how Victor he owes this debt to this loan shark who's actually like Connor's teacher. It's kind of confusing, but you have to see the film, you'll understand. But that never really gets resolved. He tries to go in this boxing match to win the money to pay it, but he loses that, so I don't really know what happens. And then towards the end of the movie, it's kind of like hinted, he says like Lee saved his pizza business, but that doesn't really explain the loan shark. I guess the pizza business is doing better now because Lee's gets called stuffed crust, and maybe that has like it leads people to the restaurant, but I'm not really sure. It's not explained is like my main problem. Just the overall pacing of the film. We got to the last like final battle on top of the building, and I was just like, this can't be the end, right? Like there's no way this is the last fight because there's still so much that has to be explained. There's this whole tutor character that gets added. Nothing really ever happens with him. It's never explained like is Lee struggling with school or does he actually like succeed? That never gets explained. It kind of just ends after the final fight and leaves all these questions open. Another small thing I want to talk about is it's kind of confusing that the 2010 Karate Kid movie is just never like brought up, even though Jackie Chan is playing the same character from that movie, Mr. Han. And he has like this karate school now, which I think is from like being a sensei to Dre in the 2010 film. He now like has this dojo, but that doesn't really get explained. Dre never gets brought up or anything, so I guess that's just something we're not supposed to care about. There were some corny scenes for like in terms of dialogue, but that's not really a huge problem. This is not really like a serious, like needs to be super like well written movie. It's kind of just a fun watch. I felt like a main problem I had with the film was there's this whole like throughout the film there's this whole like underlying tone of Lee's trauma in the past with his brother dying in front of him and him not being able to help his brother. And that doesn't really get resolved. It kind of gets like all of the people teaching him kind of tell him like, you can't let that drag you down. You have to move on. And then at the end, he like has this weird scene where he's remembering his brother laying down in Victor and he just stands up. And I guess that's supposed to be like him overcoming it. But the problem wasn't that he couldn't get up in the beginning. It was just that he was like too afraid to help. He froze up. But I mean, I guess they kind of resolved that, but not really. But yeah, so that's my main thoughts. I definitely think it was it's a good movie to go see, just like to see the cool action and like turn your brain off for a little bit. But it's not like great written. There were some things I would have liked to be changed. And overall, I just wish it was paced a little better, but you know, not a terrible film. Definitely better than Lilo and Stitch, which I just rated previously. But yeah, like I said, 2.5 out of 5. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Bye. One last thing, guys. I just wanted to say I'm still editing that video from the $5 Steam Roulette stream. So that should be up pretty soon. And yeah, I'm going to be live again tomorrow if you get a chance to pop in the stream. Or I guess today. Just later. But yeah, so I'm not sure what my schedule will be at this week. I'll let you guys know tomorrow in the stream. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that next video. And if you have a chance, pop in the stream tomorrow. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye. This time for real, I'm actually leaving. Okay, have a good night. Bye.